Hey,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining me here in the Living Room Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's definitely a pleasure. I'm gonna get into it.
All right.
Everybody, we have Miss Vivian Green here. She has a new album dropping tomorrow
Yes.
that we're all looking forward to. So I want to get into that. Can you tell me a little bit about the album?
Okay, so it's called sorry, I'm like tearing up. I don't know what's wrong. It's called Love Absolute. It is my seventh studio album, marking 18 years in the business. Oh my god. And I love this album so much. I call it Love Absolute because it encompasses lots of things that I love. 75% of this album I wrote at the piano, first, just by myself at the piano before I gave it to Kwame to produce. And this is the first album that I made a point to do that on. So it does make it very different from the others. That is my very favorite way to songwrite. And I've never again made a point to make most of an album that way. The other 25% of the songs are up tempos, and that's not my specialty. So I left that to Kwame to begin that creation. But all the rest of the stuff I wrote from scratch. And that is how I started writing songs as a tween. And I really wanted to get back to that.
But the upbeat part of it is what I like so far.
Oh, it's there. No worries. It's
Yeah,
there.
because when I hear the record with you and Ghostface, I'm like, okay, like I can hear this out in the club or something
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
It gets
Yeah.
people up on
Yeah.
their feet. And it's
Yeah.
not a usual sound that I'm used to hearing from you. So it is great to be able to hear it and see the other side of what you can give to us musically.
Well, yeah, I think since Get Right Back to My Baby, though, I've definitely been releasing up tempos. So, yeah, so since 2015, I've kind of been doing that. Yeah. So, Ghostface actually wanted to be on Get Right Back to My Baby, but by the time he reached out, the song had ran its course, it peaked already, and it was kind of, on its way down, and we were on our way to making the next record. And we were like, oh man, if only you called 6 months ago, this would have been great. So, we definitely wanted him to be a part of the next up tempo that we did, and we released, and so he was, and he's great and sweet, and it was wonderful.
So what keeps this like I see that you and Kwame have this chemistry of working together. Like
Mm-hmm.
what keeps this just going for so long? I mean, you've been working with him since early on in your career, and now this is your seventh recorded studio album, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
that chemistry is never fading. It's like you guys are still spot on, you know?
Yeah, well, so this is our third album that we've done together. I think it's the best one we've done. Um, well, I'm signed to his label, so that definitely is
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it. But I just I don't know, because if you knew how tedious and stressful working together was, you'd be like, why do they keep doing this? We couldn't be more different creatively, and we couldn't be more different with what we want and what we hear and our point of views. It's all so different, but I think in the end, it's all of that tension that makes something beautiful, really, because we just come from two different approaches, and it's not always the smoothest ride while we're making records in the studio. We fight a whole lot, but it always ends up great in the end. So that's why we keep doing it, I think, because we know what the result is going to be. As long as we can get through the making of, the end result is going to be really, really good.
Yes, because the singles I'm loving so far. The You Send Me record is, sounds like classic Vivian Green. It's just like I'm loving what you have put out so far, and I'm just
Thank
really
you.
looking forward to the album. As far as putting this all together, was it due to COVID and everything? I know it has shook up the way things are going. How
Hmm.
was it getting you back into the studio and locking in for this seventh album?
Actually, it I hate to say COVID is a good thing, because obviously it's not. Sounds so bad. But as far as for the productivity of completing this album, it was actually good for us, because we started it before COVID hit. We started it in 2019, and we really needed to finish it up. But there's always distractions, and then we have to go on the road, and things. interfere in that completion. And so COVID just kind of made us not have anything else to do but finish the album because I couldn't go on the road. You couldn't travel. You know what I'm saying? So it really accelerated the completion of Love Absolute, which was a really great thing for us. Obviously, my prayers go out to everybody who has been affected. I'm so glad that my family and I haven't so far. And just, of course, keeping everybody in prayers and good spirits as we get through this. But I was unable to get some good work done during this time.
Definitely, definitely. And
Yeah.
even with the changing of the world and things that's going on, there's always a brighter side to things. You being a mother throughout the whole COVID thing, I know it has been a blessing for you to be able to really spend that time with your child and everything throughout the whole COVID thing going on. Is that
Well,
is that
I
how has
think
mothering been during COVID?
yeah, that's another thing that's different for me. I think musicians and just not musicians, people in entertainment, period. Whether it's whether you're an actress, whether you're an athlete or singer, musician, like our lives are pretty unorthodox. As it is, we don't have the same schedules as most people. And so, with that being said, I've homeschooled my son since kindergarten, actually. And so, and he is always with me. He's always with me. And so being around my son, 24/7 is something that I'm very accustomed to already. I think the difference is, for him, of course, he couldn't do his extracurricular activities, which super sucks, and we're not traveling. He likes to travel with me. He likes to go on the road. He likes all that. So all that kind of fun stuff that we're used to doing, we have not been able to do, but we're still together, just the same. So I know a lot of people spend, hours and hours away from their kids every day while they go to work, while their kids are at school. But my son is actually always with me. He was born with an unknown syndrome, so he's a special needs child, and I'm very protective of him. So yeah, so as far as that goes, nothing's really different. He's not like on my nerves any more or less than he would be normally.
Right. But the great thing, he got a feature on the album too, on the
Oh
Black
yeah, I
album.
think this is his third or fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. So it works its way out too. You
Oh
get on
yeah.
these great albums.
Yeah.
As far as a new album release, I see you have a album release that you're doing for the fans. Is that correct? For social media or whatnot?
Oh, did you see that? Oh,
Yes,
that's
I did see it.
social
Yes.
media is good sometimes, huh?
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna do it tonight and kind of I said watch night to joke about watch night on New Year's Eve. It'll be like a watch night party to bring in Love Absolute tonight. Yep, from 10 to midnight.
And just for people that are not aware who may be seeing this, can you let them know how they could join that?
Oh yeah, so if you go to my Instagram or Facebook pages, we did put it in the bio link. So the link to buy the album is in the bio, and so is the link to the Zoom tonight. But I'm going to make a post just about that later too, just to remind people because I know, things move and change so fast, people will forget. So I'm going to post it a couple more times before 10. But if you want to come to the Zoom tonight, the link is in my bio. But I am going to post it and talk about it again to remind you.
All right, great. And I'm gonna make sure I get the word out on my part for people who want to know as
Thank
well.
you.
Make sure that
Oh, and that's I'm sorry, and that's at I am Vivian Green. At I am Vivian Green. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna send the word out for that as well because I'm
Yeah.
really liking the music that I'm hearing so far. Everything is just you didn't lose a step. It's just the classic Vivian Green, man. It's really a joy to listen to. Um, I also I keep up with posts and I keep up with social media as well. And I seen a post that you have for Raheem Devon, and I know he just recently did his album as well. And how is it working with him?
Yeah, I think his release is next week, I believe.
Yeah.
His new album releases next week, I believe, and I think it's called "What a Time to Fall in Love." So you guys look out for Raheem's new release that's coming. So we worked together on my album in 2015, my Vivid album. That's the album that "Give Right Back to My Baby" is on, and I did the song. It's called "All I Want Is You." I did the song by myself. And then once it was finished, Kwame and I both were like, hey, this would probably be better as a duet. So who should we get? So we tossed around a couple names and we settled on Raheem because Raheem's his music is very sexy and it's a very sexy song. So I scratched the second verse that I already had there because I think it's important for singer songwriter if you ask them to be featured, to do a feature for you, to allow them to do all that they do. And since he is a singer songwriter like I am, I left the second verse open for him to write. and let me tell you, Raheem is pretty explicit in his lyrics, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm pretty conservative. So when I heard it, I was like, oh my god. And then he like said my name, and I was like, oh my god. But that's his art, so I didn't want to touch it, so I left it. So yeah.
Great record though.
Thank
Really
you,
great
thank
record.
you, thank you, thank you.
And it was good to be able to listen to that. The crazy thing about, because I've actually had the opportunity to interview Raheem, I think earlier this month or last month, and
Mm-hmm.
it's funny because that was a question I want to ask about as well, and I just didn't be able to, I didn't get the opportunity to get around to it. So it was
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's great to be able to hear you two on the same record.
Oh, thank you.
And again, let's let the people know where they could download the album Love Absolute.
Yeah, so Love Absolute is available on all streaming platforms, everyone. And if you would like to access those links directly, you can do that through any of my social media pages on my website, which is viviangreenmusic.com. Direct links go to wherever it is that you would like to go. And if you want a physical copy, you can get that from Amazon or directly from Universal, and you can just find all that information. It's all in the link. And if you order from Universal, you get a signed copy actually, because that's coming directly from us pretty much. So,
Great.
yeah,
And I'll
so
be on
that's
the lookout for
all
that.
streaming platforms. But in my socials, you have the link to everything. But it's available everywhere, pretty much everywhere the music is streamed.
And can the fans look forward to any digital performances, like any performances for this new album coming about later on in the future?
Yeah, we're gonna get something together really, really soon. So everybody just continue to follow me on social media, and I'll keep you guys posted on that for sure, for sure, for sure.
Great. Definitely looking forward to that as well. I appreciate you checking in with me. I know we're on limited time, so I definitely appreciate you locking in with me here at the Living Room Podcast. I will be checking for the album. I'll be putting people I know on it, and I'll definitely be staying tuned for the album release that you're doing online as well. So
Thank
greatly
you,
appreciate speaking with you.
thank you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. No problem at all. Thank you. God bless you. And I'll be seeing you later on social media for the album release.
Thank you.
All right now.